Welcome to The Short Score, your weekly update of roping news from around the industry, where you can find the latest on the sport from the pro rodeo ranks to the jackpot world. I'm Taylor Vollen, and I'm your host. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Score. It's Taylor Vollen. Well, it's official. The 2023 NFR is in the books. Round 10 was really exciting, I felt like. Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorp went into the final round number 1 in the world, but they weren't exactly safe. It really kind of all came down to tonight. When it was all said and done, though, they walked away the 2023 world champs. Derrick, Begay, and Colter Todd went into the 10th round number 1 in the average as the only team to have caught all 9 steers, and they stayed the course, roping their 10th steer in 4.4 seconds to win the average. This episode is super special as Chelsea was able to sit down with both T. Wade and Thorp and Begay and Todd after the excitement tonight. We will kick the interview off with the world champs, Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorp. This episode is presented by CSI Saddle Pads. CSI has supported our multimedia coverage of all things team roping for nearly a decade. Their mission is to make sure you and your horse both enjoy riding, which is why they've created the CSI Saddle Pad and continue to educate and communicate with their customers and the horse community.
How nervous were you?
I don't know. I was nervous up to riding in there. Then I wasn't nervous because
You weren't.
No, I've got nervous and whacked plenty of them. So I was like, just stick to what I do, which is just smooth and slow down. And I talked to Wesley before we roped, and I told him, I said, hey, I don't care if we need to be 60 on this steer. I don't want to get away from what we practice. And I'm not going to – I will be more mad if I messed up overthinking it than if I just roped the steer when I got out of the chute. And I told him, I said, win, lose, or draw, that's my plan, because this arena doesn't allow for anything different. Mm-hmm. If we go to a jackpot, I could take 5 swings over his back, whatever, but there wasn't enough time to here, so yeah. I don't want to get out of what we practiced.
Wesley, what were you thinking when that steer stepped? Were you thinking? Was it?
It's not the best feeling, but I think Tyler even said something earlier about like learning from your mistakes. And like last year in the 10th round, I remember my steer stepped left and I got too narrow, and it cost us a lot in the average. So like all I told myself was just ride further down the arena, give myself a little more width just in case he does. And if I'm not there on the first hop, I'll at least get a good second or third hop. And that's exactly what happened. So it worked out good, and past mistake helped line that up.
You've caught a lot of steers on spur here. That horse doesn't necessarily get all the credit that he deserves.
I'm not. I promise.
Tell me about
I
Spur.
Promise I wasn't going to say nothing.
We're just going to talk about Spur.
Yeah. No, he's a good horse. You ride him right, he's not going to let us down, I don't think so. And I think he's just quirky enough that he's got to be tired. So in the 10th round, I got a better horse than I did in the first round. And same deal. You drive 20 hours and I load him on the trailer, and he's a better horse than if he's fresh. So I think that's why he's held up and been so good for so long.
But tell me about Ray J real quick.
He's been awesome for me for 4 years. He's tough as can be. I've probably tried to sell him 5 times and nobody buys him, so I ended up with him again.
That's how you ended up with horses.
Yeah, so
that's
that's all 3 of mine I can't sell, so I keep. And then anyway, so just throwing that out there.
I'll probably
his
keep
phone number is.
He's 14. He's a gelding.
How's your bread?
He goes back to Pepto Boone. So.
His registered name is Little Hickory Boone.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure he's in some kind of incentive.
He is so tough. He works so good all the time. He was sore as could be this summer, and still tried hard. And he just has always been that way. And I've tried to do the best I can. And I'm glad he's always the one I know I can count on.
We had to put the rest of the interview on pause as T. Wade and Thorp had to go out and get their saddles and do their interview and everything. The second half of our interview does get a little loud, I'm warning you, as the families all gathered down in the press room to take photos and grab their prizes.
Okay, how special was this? I mean, I know it was hard when you split the title. We talked about that last night. It was so hard to split the title. So deeply did not want to do that, but you were out ahead of him. What was that? Any thought in your mind roping tonight?
The main thing is you can't do more than you can do. And we told ourselves we're going to make the same run, so there wasn't a whole lot of variables at play to what we were going to change. But yes, I definitely didn't want it to be in a spot where one of us wins it, the other doesn't. So I mean, they were close enough to us in the average that we couldn't, we didn't want to lay up. So yeah, it wasn't in the back of my mind just for the spot that you can't change much, and we weren't going to change our game plan. We both talked about that.
Is it second title sweeter than the first? Can you compare them?
Yeah, this one's pretty sweet just because I was really early in my career on the first one, and I was not expecting to be like, I had no expectation of winning a world title. I didn't feel like I was ready for it. And then this one, I feel like to win the regular season, coming in knowing that I have the capability, and then to do it like that, it's very special. And to do it with a good friend is amazing.
Speaking of never thinking you were going to win a world title, that's what you said on stage to Amy Wilson too.
I did. I just never dreamt it because it looked so far out of reach. I'm like, hell, that's for the best guys.
And 10th round, you just had to catch. And we talked about, you've won Cheyenne. You've won a lot of places where I remember you on after party, like
bringing heat.
Yeah. So much heat. Talk about your evolution. I mean, were you the 2013 Rookie of the Year? I was trying to remember.
2012. But I think that you can't be oblivious to any of it. Whatever your weakness is, that's what you should focus on. I don't practice reaching at home because I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I practice catching, being sharp, whatever my weakness is what I need to focus on. And I think Thorp's the best hitter in the world with no weaknesses, and it's just pretty cool to pull it through for him. He rubs so good that there's no pressure because if I do my job, it's game over. But there's also a lot of pressure because this dude's just waiting on me to turn the steer. So it's pretty cool to pull it off, though.
New baby girl coming in the spring.
Yeah.
Is that going to change any of your rodeo schedule? Are you guys staying hooked all, through the spring, or what are you thinking?
I'm going to be busy for a week in April. Then Jesse's going to be busy the rest of the time. We got to go win something out here. So, no, I don't think that's one good thing about Thorp and I both is, I think our priorities and everything are in order. What we believe, where we should go, how we should go, what we should do. And, we're there for each other and ready. And, nobody skips much around here. And if we do, we skip it as a team and we agree.
Now let's hear from the 2023 NFR average champs, Derrick, Begay, and Colter, Todd.
Are you emotional or just sick?
Well, yeah, I'm emotional. Well, I'm sick too, but the greatest header of all time, which Clay Tryon, he's, in my opinion, the best header of all time. He once told me one time, he said, "You don't cry when you win." It's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you're supposed to go there. That's what you're there for, is to win. So it shouldn't be a surprise, he says. He told me that one time. So, but I might cry. I wasn't expecting this.
No. Because you've not been in an average spot before, really ever, in all these trips, huh?
No, not even close. Mm-hmm. This is my 10th year here, and usually I miss one of the first 3 or something like that. But no, haven't got this close ever.
What does it mean to do it with Colter? You've roped with a lot of great partners, but what does it mean that it was with Colter?
I guess one word would be special. I guess it's pretty special to do it with him. I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe our relationship. What's funny is we're not even team ropers. We're just good friends that like to rope, and that's where it all started, and that's where it still is, it feels like. I mean, we're not even serious about it, or we care about it and we want to do good. We're both really competitive still, but it's I don't know, it's 2022 that's when I first started roping, was with him about halfway through 22, and nothing was planned. I just called him one day and told him I needed a partner at a little rodeo. Then we just kind of kept roping. Then 2023, we didn't have no plans this year, just kept entering, kept going, and here we are. So, I mean, we never had no goals. We never told each other we wanted this or I wanted that. We just go to the rodeo together and try to do our best, and we either do good or we didn't.
What does it mean? What are you feeling right now? You said it's special. What are you feeling? What's going through your mind?
Oh.
I know that's a hard question. It's like the hardest question. What are you feeling?
Well, like I said earlier, I guess it's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've heard people say this before, but I guess I can say it's true now. I mean, no words can describe how it feels. I mean, it's just, I think I've roped with my personal family members forever, my whole life, and this is the closest you can get is roping with your best friend. So it's neat. I mean, I always say team roping's team roping, but it's what's even neater is to see the things outside of the arena, what we do outside of the arena when we're here in Las Vegas, or see his family in the stands, or get together after the rodeo and talk about whatever. And just those moments are fun to enjoy. And I guess being in the spotlight for 10 days and seeing Colter Todd, I mean, I'm a big fan of him. So it's kind of tricky roping with your fan and your best friend, your childhood hero, and then me being on the other side. So it's not like I'm not roping against him, I'm roping for him. So there's a lot of emotions in it, and then I think I don't know. I mean, it's just, I'm not really sure how to explain it.
I mean, it's cool for this generation of kids to get to see Colter Todd and get to see what he's done and how he's lived his life, and now how he's coming back out to rodeo too. Like, I think he's a really fun example.
Yes, like, I mean, like I said earlier, we don't consider ourselves professional team ropers. That's only the way I know how to explain it. I mean, yeah, we do rope, and I mean, we're here with the best guys in the world. I mean, these guys rope good, and we're at the highest stage of rodeo, and we've won the second most prestigious buckle that they give. So it's kind of, like I said earlier, it's kind of surprising. It's kind of surprising. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Tell me about your last.
I'm not gonna lie. Two guys like us aren't supposed to do what we're supposed to do.
What were you thinking? Were you thinking that two guys like you weren't supposed to do what you just did, go back into the box there? What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking that at that time. I can think about it now. But backing into the box tonight, it's just been like every night. I mean, be aggressive at the barrier and rope the steer wherever he's at. I mean, most of the time you get on the barrier, they're right there.
Tell me about your horse. You said he's just good enough, huh?
He's still just good enough.
Just good enough.
Just good enough. I mean, luckily enough, we're the only team that caught 10. No one else did.
No doubt. Colter, you are in all the winter rodeos.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure we'll go to them, I guess. I don't know. We'll just see.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I feel like "we'll just see" has been the theme of like this last year for you.
I think it's like the perfect. I enjoy this. Let's just see.
I think we talked about it last night. You've never been in a position to win the average here before with Caesar, right?
No.
Can you make sense of any of this last year? No. Where did this last year come from?
I have no idea. I thought about it all night, like trying to make sense of all of it, and I don't know. I'm just grateful.
Jade, you guys got it kind of figured out with Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt very comfortable.
Yeah, you looked comfortable tonight. What was going through your head? Were you?
I was kind of a letdown, honestly. I really wanted to. I had no idea what the standings looked like. But in my mind, I was pretty sure, like, for him to have a chance, that we needed to do pretty good in the round. I mean, all the other stuff would have to happen too, but so in my mind, I was thinking we need to be, 3.94 flat. I obviously, at some point in there, decided that was not my plan anymore and cut to the inside a little bit. And 4, 5, 6.
5, yeah.
This, I mean, good, but I was a little upset at myself that I let, I guess you'll call it emotions, control my reactions instead of just staying hooked and push on around there and get that steer fast. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful that I caught him.
Your partner, I mean, he's got other
He's
goals.
not my partner.
Your best friend?
Yeah. Or friend, whatever, but it's like we're not partners. Like, I know we're not because we didn't talk. We don't talk. We didn't look at this. We're just friends out here. I don't even know what we're doing. But, I mean, honestly.
I know.
Because, like, I never asked him, like, hey, what are you going to do? He never said, hey, this is what we need to blah, blah, blah. And then even now, like, we still haven't talked. I mean, I apologize for cutting in, but...
He's always been one of the greatest, but he's never had a gold buckle. And he's never had an average buckle. This is huge. This is not an insignificant win. You guys have had great wins together this year, but what does this mean for you to do it with him and for you to do it for him in a sense? Because you've been rodeoing for him.
Right. I think that's the thing that's been in the sense, like the thing that I've had to overcome the most is because he is Derrick Begay. Sure, we're really good friends, and like cowboying or everyday life, it's not. But you get out here and like you realize like he's everybody's fans of Derrick Begay. So you kind of, I mean, it's all on yourself, right? But you put more pressure on yourself because then if you let him down, you're letting everybody down. So it felt really good. I really though, like I broke 3 legs this week, and that really bothers me. Like it's kind of one of them that's going to eat at me for a long time because he turned every steer good, and I should have, like, no reason to not catch them other steers. And if we'd have caught those, I'm sure his heart rate would have been up a little higher today than what it was. So, but on the other hand, don't think I'm not super grateful.
He told me a long time ago that he was high back at the straight, and that would have been life-changing, but he guessed his life wasn't supposed to change after all. And so I always think about that when I think about winning and losing, but this is pretty freaking special. Like, the average title is.
For sure.
Last year, I sent you a picture of you winning at the circuit finals, and I said, hey, can you break this rundown for me? And you told me you weren't good enough to break the rundown. I needed to call somebody else.
Yep.
Do you still feel that way about your healing? Yes.
I proved that tonight.
Congratulations, Colter.
Thank you very much.